Oh, hey, that's us. We are live.
Oh, okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to our living room-ish.
Oh,
And-
the camera's there. Right there.
Oh,
Okay.
right. We should not
Yeah.
look at them. Yeah.
No.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to our living room. And we're going to do a round of intros. So this is my wife, Nicole. And that's our, well, I'm going to introduce you.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Right.
21st century.
Right.
This is my wife, Amaka.
Woohoo! Jazzy.
I'm Muiwa, by the way. So he didn't introduce me. He just asked me to introduce her. Yeah.
I just feel like shade is being thrown. We haven't started this session.
We haven't even started.
We haven't started this
At
session.
least they have them.
All right, so a bit of background. So let's see. I have known Nicole for 16 years. I have known Muiwa Maka for 7. We met in 2014. Okay, so that if you think we're being like super like familiar with each other, there might be a reason for it. Exactly, because we are. We've done some life together, which is also why I thought you were the perfect people to talk about managing finances as a couple. It's the most honored ever.
Yes,
All right.
we are the perfect people. Yeah.
Wow. All right, so we have some questions that have set us up for today. So I'm going to actually have the Kolawoles kind of like launch the first question. We'll respond and we'll launch another question to you and just do it back and forth.
Okay.
So just introduce yourself.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So my name is Muiwa Kolawole. Yeah. Currently work in renewable energy with a company called NG. So we focus on small solar home systems across Africa, basically. So we try to we build solar solutions for small income homes, mostly rural communities, um, semi-urban communities. Currently in 9 countries in Africa. So that's what I do every day today, every day. So yeah, I work in customer experience, and that's me. And I'll let Amaka go next.
All right.
Hello everyone. My name is Amaka Kolawoles, married to this guy right here for 3.5 years. What do? I work in dairy. I work for a dairy company based in here in Nigeria, and I do strategy and business development and innovation, all the things.
All the things.
All the things. But I'm also a creative, so I do creative things outside of my 9 to 5. Yeah, so that's me. Happy to be here. Excited to talk about this interesting topic. I don't know if I'm an expert, but I think what we're going to do here is to share our just to share our experiences and how we have managed to navigate this in the last 3.5 plus 5 years before we got married. So yeah, looking forward to this.
Nicole Kanu. My background is in civil engineering, so that's the field that I'm currently working in. Like Amaka, I'm also a creative and try and fit that in life whenever and wherever we can. And I am the lucky person that is married to the Reach founder, the most luckiest.
Ever live it.
So excited to be here with you guys today. It was definitely a surprise for me. I didn't know that we were going to be doing it at first. It showed up on my Google Calendar, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess this makes sense."
Just throw your husband under the
The
bus.
people should know.
The people should know what.
People should know.
It's a family business.
It is.
I'm just letting you all know. All right. So, structure for today, we're going to go through. We've done the intros, and then we'll talk about some of our personal experiences. Then we'll go into some strategies, things that we have done, things that we are doing to help us stay on top of our finances. And then in the closing out section, we'll like something kind of like things I wish I had done. What would I do differently if I knew what I knew then, what I know now? And then we'll leave it open for questions.
Okay.
All right. So why? First things first. The rationale for this topic. So I'll kick us off. Why I thought that this. So even before the Read Summit, actually, Nicole and I, we'd have these conversations. Be like, I hope other people, are having these conversations because I can see how that can get us in trouble. And so when the Read Summit was coming together, which is why it showed up on her calendar, she was actually the reason we even have this topic, and I'm just trying to be all fancy. That's why we're discussing it because one of the top reasons people fight in coupling. So we've been a couple for 5. We've known each other for 16 years. And in 6 days, we will have been married for 4 years. So we're still kind of early in that journey. We're not saying, just like you guys are saying, we're not experts by any means, but it's more around what are some of the things that we learned. So the rationale for this topic is if we have clarity, if we have togetherness, and given the statistics I just shared about how prevalent like economic drama is on the continent, when you get together with somebody, that's a pretty powerful thing. And if you guys can be aligned on your finances, it just like so. That I guess there's a problem that people quote often: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And who else is your person for going the furthest than your spouse, right?
Exactly.
Or whoever it is that you are coupled up with. And so that's why for me this was an important topic. Yeah, rationale for the topic.
What he said.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's really I believe in marriage, and I think finances, miscommunications and misunderstanding of finances are one of the leading causes for divorce.
Or shadiness in finances.
Or shadiness in finance. It is a miscommunication,
Or shadiness.
I think we should call it out. Shadiness.
Okay, or shadiness in finances, and so if there are any small nuggets that we're able to share from our brief journey that helps pay it forward to the next couple that's coming along, and just is something that becomes a tool for somebody else to keep the family unit together and keep it not only together but functional and happy because of removing the stress of some of these things. I think that's really important.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have said everything really. Like the main rationale for talking about this is to prevent future issues. And when you do premarital counseling, usually counselors will warn you about several topics, and finance is a big one. They'll prepare you for discussions and conversations around finance because they know that it could be actually an issue in the future. So I think whatever tips that we have from our 5 years of being together and being friends and being married, that we can share with people just to create more awareness of things that you need to think about, we're happy to share. So I think it's a pretty important topic to have.
In addition to what you guys have said, I think generally if you go on social media these days, you see a lot of talk around, if a man has 1,000 naira, a woman has 2,000 naira, how much do they have in the home? And then you have.
What's the answer, please? I haven't seen those.
I don't know what I don't know if I know the perfect answer. I would know. I can share how we would had that up in our.
Maybe we should start there. We're in personal experience. We've slid right into the next one.
Right. In our house, that's 3,000 naira.
Hallelujah. Praise Jesus.
That's 3,000 naira. But there are different definitions on social media, so that's why I think it's very important for us to have some of these conversations, right? Again, I think Nicole was one that talked about believing in marriage. That's also something that we believe in, and there's definitely that part that talks about two becoming one, right? And it's two people, two bodies, definitely two finances or whatever that is, just becoming one. So yeah, I think just to discuss. I explained for if there are people viewing that still believe that I have 1,000, you have 2,000, that means there's 1,000 in the Yeah, let's just share our rationale for going with 3,000.
So what if we kept with that a bit? How did you so how without so if she's the one with the 1,000, you have the 2,000, it's very different when you're the one with the 1,000 and she has the 2,000. So how did that conversation, how did that agreement, how did that status quo develop in your relationship?
Yeah, I think from we officially started a relationship in April of 2016, right? So those were that period, early on 2016, early days, right? I think at the point when we decided we wanted to take our relationship a bit more seriously, okay, we want something more out of this relationship, right? We started talking about money. We started talking about money generally, right? And something we learned later on when we were doing marriage counseling is some three things that tend to always cause issues. Among the most common reasons why couples fight, right? One is sex, Two is communication. Lack of it, too much of it, or none of it, communication. And the final part was money, right? So I think for us, we up our mind that money part was definitely not going to be it, right? And how do you make it not a thing by understanding that 1 plus 1 in this situation just becomes a bigger one. Like it's not like oh it doesn't it's not supposed to divide, it's supposed to unite, right? And I think it's very important also to understand the direction you and your partner are going in, right? You have to understand the direction in which you and your partner are going in. You don't want to. It's very difficult to say 1 plus 1 is equal to a bigger one when you oh, this is what I'm trying to do, save, make some more money and all of that. And there's another person that's okay, this is what I'm trying to do, spend some more money and live my life in that direction, right? Then it's very difficult to submit to having 1 plus 1 to become a bigger one, right? But in the case where there's an understanding of okay, we are going in this direction and these are things that will get us there, and of course we understand some of the benefits of 1 plus 1 becoming a bigger one.
I guys just really agree with you. So you guys were just always in agreements, like from the get-go. You guys never had a come to Jesus moment of what are we actually doing and how are we going to do it. You guys just showed up and you were ready to do it like this.
Yeah, so I think for us, and everything he said, I completely agree with. For us, it's actually been about transparency from the beginning. So even while we were friends, yes, we didn't talk about okay, this is how much I earn, this is how much you earn, but like the spend, and you could see how I spend, I could see how we spend, and even when we then decided that we wanted to be in, deeper relationship, we were very transparent. So we've always been transparent in that way. But then adding on to that, the premarital counseling really helped us because it helped us it gave structure to the discussion. So like, okay, what do you guys want to do with money? Will you have joint accounts? Will you have separate accounts? Will you have, but before that, we already knew like, okay, we're just going to be transparent with our finances. This is how much you're going to spend, this is how much you spend. And so that really helped us from the beginning.
Want to tell them we're not as
ours is
fantastic as you guys.
Let's hear it.
So in my mind, I think it was set up like that initially in my mind. I'm glad Kara's over here so you can't see my face. I can't see his face. But okay, sorry, before I jump there, taking a step back, and in preparing for this panel, one of the things that I told JR is I actually never talked about finances with anybody that I was dating. He was the only person that I ever had that conversation with. Now, more later on, how I observed other people that I was dating, how I observed their finances, but he was the only one. And I think from the beginning, the ideal was, that we would have transparency.
So I was not a fan of that. I'm a proper woman. My money is our money, your money is your money. Like literally, I'm talking like first week of dating. I'm like, yo, let's be clear on some things. Do you? But I got you. Like as
maybe should have been my reaction. Like, does that mean I'm a kept woman? Like, is that what that means?
But then she was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And like maybe there are reasons for that because then it does put a lot of pressure on the person who has put himself up as I will be your everything provider to maybe start lying when things are going bad. Which you hear a lot of guys going out and saying they're going to work and nothing's actually happening. The woman is doing what's happening with the finances. Yeah. So early on, so her response to me saying, "Oh no, your money's your money, my money's our money," she's just like, absolutely not.
I said no.
So I was like, okay, this is new for me. And also like we talked about how your family of origin can be a huge determinant of how you come in. So we don't talk specifics about money in my house. Like, I do not know what my parents spent on anything for my life, or like they will not tell you that because it's almost like a taboo type conversation. While in her situation, especially for college, like she knew exactly how much they were spending in college or this or that, things like that. Which I think we then did the extreme opposite of, right? Because you have seen one behavior modeled so clearly, you take it as granted, and so you don't have to work at it. So in my case, I was like super clear, super specific, which probably explains reach. And in her case, she was like, "Oh, it'll be figured out," right? And so we started off laying all the cards on the table. We didn't keep laying our cards on the table. So there came a time when we were spending independently of each other, got into trouble financially without realizing that we had done that.
Okay.
So I think for me the key takeaway in that moment was when you agree to lay your cards on the table, it's not a one-time thing.
Yes.
You have to create a process for always laying all the cards on the table.
Yes.